Welcome back to Munich in the Dream Bowl Palace, and welcome back to the final, the Masters final of the Men's European Championship. There's been a number of different events going on during the course of this week, so you've got an overall winner. That's the person that's put the most points together from the various events, and you've got your individual sets of champions. And there's been quite a spread of results. It's not one person cleaning up all the way.
No, but it's, as you said before, it's pretty much Scandinavian all the way, and taking all the medals at this championship. And I don't know if you noticed, Simon, that Martin Paulsson is nowhere near the outside of the lane, because this is lane 5. It's heavy oil. It goes down 41, 42 feet. And he played pretty much up the middle of the lane. We won't be seeing too much hooking in the back end.
So that's Paulsson's tactic. He leads this final by 1-0 in this best of 3 against the youngster from Norway, Mads Sandbaekken, who, in all honesty, had that first game in his pocket and blew it.
Open frame, Martin Paulsson, the worst place to have it. Well, I say the worst place, the best place. Don't have one. But he has opened up that open frame, and that's Sandbaekken has come back with a strike. Game playing out on the left-hand side. This is the fast lane, the one with the oil on it. He's not whizzing it up the outside. He's playing a much tighter line, a lot straighter. That may be because he may not like this condition. Not all bowlers like lots of oil. It just sometimes when it gets away from him, it just aquaplanes, and you just can't get the ball back. Only another bad-looking shot there. Leaves the 4-pin standing. Standing behind those lanes. Thomas Lee Anderson, Mats Carlson. There's another guy that I used to play against in the British Open called Timu Ratikainen from Finland.
That's a top name.
Absolutely. And he was the scourge of the English bowlers way back in the 80s. He's been coaching Oskar Palermo this week in the Finland team, and I noticed him in the back there as well. And you really won't want to make mistakes, because you know they're thinking, I wouldn't have done that.
So Sandbaekken looking for the perfect start. He didn't like it. Oh, didn't like it off his hand, but I don't know why, because that was a belter. Yeah,
great reaction at the back end. Came off the point of the oiling pattern at exactly the right point, exactly the right speed. And got some big reaction at the back end. He's just looking at it, and what a great strike that was. Lead in game number 2. 2 strikes straight out the trap.
Oh dear, straight through the head pin, hooked up on him.
Oh, he turned his back on it. Didn't like that at all, did he? Open frame, 2 spares for Paulsson.
He's going for the bolder of the 2 shots. He's got to keep trusting himself on this.
Yeah, it's a great reaction he's getting on the ball off the lane, making the 1-2 pocket, just hanging the 7-pin there, unfortunately. But he is getting some movement on that left-hand side, whereas Paulsson
through the whole of this game. But it's whether he panics or not. Is he going to stay with it and try and find that strike line? Sandbaekken to tidy things up. It's a good spare, but it's not quite the advantage that he was looking for. In search of his first strike in this second game. There we go, he's moved it just a touch right on the lane to try and go inside and then manoeuvre it back in, but never came back.
No, too much on the lane. Leaves in the 2-pin and the 8-pin, which we call the sleeper. It's one right behind the other.
On that last delivery, and it's even less convincing than the previous shots.
Well, I'm assuming that Thomas Lee Anderson is giving him some sort of, well, that's a good reaction there, some sort of words of advice, but as you say, he took a big step left, didn't he, on the approach, and played very much down the middle of the lane.
Set himself up again.
Yep, mustn't do anything silly. Ooh, like going straight to the head pin. Tricky little spare left-hand side there. 2, 4, 7 and the 8-pin. Again, there's a 2-pin sleeper there, the 2 and the 8. He's got to make sure he covers that back pin, the 8-pin.
Games, the lane can play with the bowler's mind. Oh, trouble at mill, I'm afraid, for Mads Sandbaekken. And it's that flipping frame 4 again.
Just got off the hand, didn't it? It wasn't good. As soon as the ball was off his hand, it was away. And it was never coming back. It got too far out on the outside of the boards. It's just never going to come back. See, just stands up off the shot, and he's
for Paulsson then to come back in. This is what happened in game 1. Paulsson was shown an opportunity, and he's taken it with his first strike Not the most convincing one you'll ever see, but down they go.
It's always nice to see the headpin messenger come back and take that 10-pin away, which has stood up. Now watch this. Here comes the headpin, and it's hit the 10-pin as well, just as it's falling over.
Nothing in it again, and Sandbaekken has to be careful here.
Well, he's got to cover that open frame somehow. Well, great looking shot, great reaction in the back end as well. Really mixed those pins up. Great looking shot.
Half a step to his right, trusted in his ability to bring it back through that oil.
He's got one open frame. Oh dear, that's an identical spare that Sandbaekken had just now.
Any eye contact with anybody, that's the moment when you want the floor to open up in the bowling centre.
You've been there, Simon, have you?
Oh, plenty of times. That's a nice spare, though.
That is a good looking spare, yeah. Lots of players from the teams have come in to watch. Oh dear, did he get a reaction there? He almost fell over when he delivered that shot. I was quite amazed that he got so much rotation on it, and it actually came back. He looks quite surprised. It's 2 strikes in a row.
He went after that really hard, and look at that, it almost fell off, but he got enough on it. He's kicked out all 10 very comfortably indeed.
He has to do some work. Hasn't got a double. He's only got 1 strike so far in 6 frames. Well, that one's going to help, isn't it? It's going to give him a chance to double up 7 and 8. It's only his second strike. He's not looking Arup from his home team.
So one thing Paulsson hasn't done in this second game, Cass, he hasn't gone fishing. Some young bowlers would go all over the place trying to find that line, and he hasn't. He's stuck with it and just made some minute variations.
Well, that's right, Simon, yeah, but he still hasn't got a major result, hasn't he? He's only got the 2 strikes so far. Sandbaekken high through the headpin. So he can't turn his double into a turkey. He's not in balance.
Well, the bowling shoe has a surface on it that allows the bowler to slide. Sandbaekken still with the advantage. Paulsson, though, working a strike. And it's around about this phase of game 1 when he caught up and did the damage. He's come off that one as well. Oh, and he's okay. He could have left himself a tricky split there. Baby split, but still tough to put away.
Yeah, he left the 310 standing and the 10-pin's gone, so that's okay. That's not good body language, is it? It kind of tells you, I don't really know what I'm doing on this lane. And of course, you give body language like that to your opponent, and it's going to give them great encouragement. They're actually going to probably be the turning point. Spares could win this one quite easily. And did you see how Sandbaekken fell off that shot? His sliding feet didn't. I mean, it's a makeable spare, but he's going to have to be pretty accurate. And if it's an open frame, Paulsson's going to jump all over him, one would think. Well, it is an open frame in frame number 8.
Well, might we go then? This ball has taken on just a little bit more pressure. No, no. Well, it's anything you can do, I can do exactly the same.
It's identical. It's a left-handed split and then a right-handed split. It's the 2-4-10. Fancy doing that in the 9th frame when you had a chance of just possibly sewing this game up. And the
feeling a lot better. Matt Sandbaekken will be so much happier, especially as that is an open frame. Sandbaekken again, just testing out that lead foot, making sure it's sliding still. Got to be able to trust that.
Needs a strike and then needs to double up on it.
Very good.
Well, lots of noise from the Norwegian supporters and the coaches.
As he's known, leading the cheers. Big ball again, and that is a very nice strike, just easing the pins out. Same line, same reaction, same pace. He's getting on with it as quickly as he can, Paulsson. Nice stuff.
Woja, I think, came from Thomas Liensen. I'm not sure what that means in Swedish, but he got it anyway. That's 2 strikes in a row. Gives him the opportunity to make a 3rd and to go to 180.
regardless of what Paulsson's doing here. Well, leaves just that single pin standing for 179. And Sandbaekken, a little bit more to do than Paulsson had in the first game, but it is perfectly achievable, especially working that strike in the foundation frame.
Simon, any spare will be enough for Sandbaekken to win this second game, take it to the third, give him the opportunities to go for his second gold medal in these championships. Just be right with one shot.
Here he goes. Oh no.
Oh crikey.
Oh dear.
It was nowhere near the 1-2 pocket, was it? It's straight through the face of the headpin, and it leaves the 2 and the 7. The baby split on the left hand side. Breaks nothing up, look at that. And he has to spare this.
Left himself a smelly one.
Well, should spare these probably 7 or 8 times out of 10. And if he doesn't spare it, Paulsson will win the game and will win the gold medal. Comes down to this ball. It's just outrageous, isn't it?
Missed it, and he's gone. What a shame.
He was nowhere near it, really, was he? It was pretty poor effort, and there's the congratulations. Look at that. The Swedes love it.
Well, I don't think that Paulsson was expecting that at any point during the second game, but it has come his way. And Martin Paulsson is the winner. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the interviews and the awards ceremony. Stay with us.